first, we're going to take the sanitation packet and pour half of it into 1 gallon of water. Pour the leftovers of the mix into a bowl. Now that the water has reached the correct temperature of about 157, 158, it's time to add the grain to make the mash. Alright, now we're going to pour the grain in to make the mash. In the grains, you want to make sure that the temperature stays between about 145, 155, around that area, and make sure to keep stirring and keep it active. Now we have 4 quarts of water heating up to 170 degrees Fahrenheit at the same time as our mash is heating up to the same temperature so that we can begin the sparge. After finishing sparging, we're going to bring the wort to a boil, where we will let it boil for about 60 minutes and add the hops during this time. I'm adding in the Columbus hops at the beginning of the boil. Stir occasionally. And reduce the heat once the wort starts boiling and foaming on top. 30 minutes into the boil, we're going to add half of the rest of the hops into the mix. Now that the wort has been boiling for 55 minutes, we're going to add the rest of the hops and the grapefruit peels. I'm going to add them in there for the last 5 minutes of the boil. After the addition of the grapefruit peels and last of the hops at 55 minutes, the wort boiled for another 5 minutes. Now we're gonna turn off the heat and add a 1/4 cup of honey and candy sugar into the mix to dissolve. Get it all out. Dissolve that. Boil is done. We put the wort in an ice bath to cool it down to 70 degrees. Once the temperature is at 70 degrees, we're going to pour the wort through the strainer into the funnel and into the jar for fermentation. pitch the yeast. Attach the sanitized top. Put the rubber tubing. Put the tubing in to the sanitizer for the blow-off tube, and that's it. After 2 days, we're gonna switch from the tubing to the airlock. So we sanitize the airlock and put sanitizer about 2/3 of the way up. We're gonna take the tubing out and place this inside. Here we have a mixture of 3 tablespoons of honey and half a cup of water to help the beer carbonate in the bottle. Now my beer is siphoning from the jug into the pot with my priming sugar.